In our first lesson, we're going to use this car to learn about variables. A variable is essentially a container used to store information as data. Variables can be extremely helpful because we can name them anything, usually with a descriptive title, and use them throughout our program. Here is an example. Since we are working with a toy car, we're going to assign our variable with the descriptive name car, and its colour is red. The colour is the information we're going to store inside the variable. Now, can you join the blocks together to make the car green? Great work! So now you know how to assign a variable. Let's keep going. Now that we have assigned data to a variable, we're going to learn about different data types. When we assign data to a variable, the data is often of a certain type. This is also known as declaring a variable. For instance, the red variable we assigned our car earlier in the lesson is a type of string. A string is simply put a string of letters or words, just like those that we use every day. In this example, we have a helicopter, and we will declare a variable of the type string to represent its name. It's important to note that declaring a variable only needs to be done once. In this way, you only need to use the name of the variable. Another data type is int. This stands for integer. Integers are whole numbers, such as 2, 13, or 57. Numbers with decimals are called floats, like 1.3, 1.7. Knowing this, can you assign the variable type and 4 rotor blades to the helicopter? Excellent! Look at that copper fly. To recap, you've now discovered that variables have different data types that need to be declared before giving them a name, so we know what type of data can be stored in them. Onwards and upwards. It's time to build on our knowledge and start learning how to have our variable interact to produce a result. We can do this by using operators. Operators are symbols that can be used to perform different operations to produce a result. The best example of this is the use of symbols we see in mathematics, such as plus, minus, and the equals symbol. Here we can see a plane with no pilots. We need to assign a pilot to our plane. We can see that the data type is an integer, so the code expects to be assigned a whole number. In this case, we added 1 pilot. Hold up, the plane has 5 litres of fuel. That's just enough fuel to start, but not enough to make the journey to the kitchen. Can you add another 5 litres of fuel to the plane so we now have 10? Well done! Now you know how to edit variables using operators. Houston, we have a problem. But it's nothing that we can't fix with code. We need to make our rocket fly in order to reach space. The problem is, when we run the code we have here, the rocket can't keep its maximum power for very long. A loop is extremely useful for running code more than once. A loop will iterate the code that you tell it to until the loop is stopped by a condition not being true. True is a data type of bool. A bool can only be true or false, like a switch, on or off. In this case, we need to use a while loop on the previous code. This will let us get the rocket's boosters firing continuously. A while loop is code that is designed to repeat the same piece of code while a certain condition is true. Have a look at our example. Oh no! I think we may have messed up the code there. Sorry. Time for a process called debugging. This is where we have a look at the code we've written and try to fix the issue. Can you fix the code to make the rocket fly into space? Wow, you did it! You are already a great coder. You have now debugged some code. This can be an important skill to have, as a lot of the time you have to find and fix issues in your own code, as well as other people's. So now you know how to run code over and over. Remember, it's controlled using conditions and won't run unless it's true.